Hey everybody, welcome to Epic Time. We are on day 5. It is the 6th of August, our 7 p.m. show. So we got it going on. Hey, here, hi Joe. How does this sound? Microphone sound? That loud?
Good.
Loud enough?
Good. A little bit louder.
A little bit louder. All right, man. We're having a couple of things changing here with the microphone. Is that loud enough? All right. Because we got some people out front. We're gonna share some cameras here, and then you kind of see where we're at. Because we are currently at Black Hills Harley. Things are winding down. The parking lot's thinning out. I think this is the first day that they're open for the whole time. But I'm gonna share or till late. It's been closing at 6, and I think today's the first day of closing at 8. So there we got Tim out there. You see him playing on his phone, getting things ready, sharing things, having all kinds of fun. I just need to share this on my phone here quick, and then I'll be good to go. Takes me just a second or two, and it gives people a chance to get on and get rolling. And oops, you gotta type right first. So get on. Once I see the show is live and it's all good, which it is, I can hit the share button. Because Facebook has rules about how you can share things and who you can share them with, and it always cracks me up when they do stuff like that, because it makes no sense at all, because you're still doing it. So it just takes you harder to do. So I don't know what to say. We're at day 5. I'll type that in, and there we go. We shared and we are good. So you see people walking by, I might, give them a little bit of a hard time. We got Joe from Rick Rack coming right now, but he's always so busy. I don't know if he's working. There's Joe walking right by, dragging the thing. He's not even paying attention. He's a hard Rick Racking worker going right by. I don't think the microphone's loud enough, or he's deaf. But yesterday he told me he put on 9 miles going to the booth where they had things. I thought that was pretty funny. So as you see, we got a couple microphones going, because the speakers are in front of me to blast out to the people, and we're kind of getting that, figuring it out, like where everybody is and what's working, because tomorrow it's going to start getting busy here. This is the day everybody shows up to the rally. This is the day that everybody's coming in, so it's going to get nothing but busy. So let's get over and check the feed, what everybody's doing. Right there, we're going to get to the northern group. Today we're going to talk about charity riding and riding for a purpose. So all these riders out here that are on the screen, they're out there killing it, doing it. And like I said before, a lot of them are riding for a purpose. Nancy leading the way, Webb right here, rider number 1072. She's getting a pretty hefty lead on the boys. So we got Brian Kern. I try to call people by the name, so when you look at the thing you can see it, but there's Kern. Then we got the group of 4 that had been the lead for a good stretch of it. They are committed to riding together. So I think it's going to be a common law marriage if they head south. And there's a border right there, and if they get to south, that'll hit North Carolina. I'm pretty sure you get to North Carolina if you've spent 3 days, riding side by side, that you might be considered, common law. But I do think it's kind of funny, because we have some riders here, and they're pretty close. There's one group and 2 groups, different paths, but they're going to be close. So might as well bounce right over here, because there you got Yos over here. Somebody stopped and saw him on the road and filled his tank up. I think that's super awesome when people do that. And as a rider, it's super motivating when you pull into a gas station, somebody's been following you on a tracker, see you coming through their town, meet you at a gas station and pay for your gas. That's exciting for the riders. It really gives a boost. You see, here's where all the riders got going on over here. They are really starting to spread apart now on day 5, and that's only going to get worse. So if you think spread out on day 5, now multiply that by day 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, and just picture how far it is. There's been a few riders who have had to bang out. I know there's been riders that have had motorcycle issues. That's super common. People are going to tip over. That's super common. You're riding. These bikes are way heavier than a lot of people are used to. So when you have a problem, it's really hard to overcome. That bike gets tippy and you're done. So I'm not gonna spend a lot of time showing exactly where everybody is and all that. You can see the spread here. It goes Eos, English, Pee-wee, and then where's Chrisman at? I know that. Right here, oops, man. I don't know, maybe I'm not used to using a mouse that works here, but there's the order where they go. I can't see what roads those are, but they're all tough, twisty roads going around and around, kind of running people in circles. You know, they think they're heading back to Woodstock, they head north, then they head south, then they head east, they head west. There is no one that knows where they're going except the riders. So the riders know where they're going, and that's it. The rest of us sit back here and just enjoy the ride. And it's fun, but as a family member, you can see, and it's really nice. If you're worried about your rider, you know, you go back here, and I'm just gonna randomly pick somebody. You know, you got Radar here. And let's say you're a family member of Radar, and they got, you're worried about him. You don't have to worry, because that's the thing about the Hoka Hey. Somebody's coming along very, very quickly. Like right behind Radar is King. So they're gonna be coming behind them. And somebody checks on them, and somebody will notice if that tracker's red. Happens all the time. And the next rider, they'll send a text out to somebody and be like, hey, can you do a wellness check on somebody? And Gopher can tell a story about that, because, you know, he was laid up in a hospital, and people stopped to check on him because his tracker was red, and they saw it kind of sit in a parking lot for an extended time. And then, you know, they had to look at it and check them out. So I want to share a couple pictures we got. Let's get rid of this first. Now, this is a picture Chase sent. He ran into some guys heading to Sturgis, wanted to know what he was doing. So they donated him. They donated to him for our cause for the monsters. I thought that was pretty cool.
They're not seeing the tracker.
What's it?
They're not seeing the tracker.
Oh, you guys aren't seeing the trackers? Sorry, my bad. I thought I was sharing this everywhere. So I'm sitting here pointing things out, and it's not even happening, so thank you. Because I got too much going on. Just when I think I'm not being a complete tech tard, there I rear up, and there I got it. Let's see if I can get this. I think it's really funny, like you guys can't see my whole screen, like magically. There's a TV here. If you were at Sturgis, you could see my screen. And there we go. Now it'll be a little bit better. I bet you can see my screen now. And I'll start over a little bit then if you can't see the screen. Sorry about that. I didn't see the comments either because I got too much going on my screen. But there's where you see it. But I'm gonna pick somebody here that you understand. Here's Radar. So if you're a family member of Radar and his tracker goes red, and you're watching it, it's going red. The organizers of the Hoka Hey are also seeing that that's red. If it's not a time he'd be sleeping, something's out of the ordinary, you know, you can reach out, whatever, and, you know, they will hit the riders behind them. Tell the people behind them, hey, do a wellness check on Radar or whomever. There's one of our guys, Bradley. So if there was a problem, you know, you don't have to sweat it as much as you. If anybody watching this wants to donate, pick a rider. You're watching Nancy, she's out in the lead, and you want to donate. That really pumps them up, and it's super, super motivating to get them going. Really incredible to go and to do that. They get to see it. It's super, super awesome, you know, for them to do it. And I think if I switch, I can actually switch this, I think. Yeah, watch me. I say I can, but I actually wanted to show some of the people. So I'm gonna see if I can. I think I can. Maybe I can. We got Hydro here. Like I don't know if you can. But we're gonna do that. We're gonna try to show this on the screen. So what each rider is doing and kind of understand a little bit. We'll start with the monsters because that one I'm familiar with. So if I make a mistake, you know, we'll be good. So. Copy this over here, paste this, and go. There we go. Now I just have to share this to the screen, and we'll be good. So this is what I'm gonna do, so I can share my screen. This is a little bit more work than I thought. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing this for everyone. But I want to share the screen. This is what it is right here. This is what the link looks like when you click on the Mile Monster Give Butter link. And a lot of these are all the same. So I'm going to post in the comments some different riders we're going to talk about. But we have 60 riders riding right now for Mile Monsters Inc. And this is what you see when you click on it. So you can click on team member and you can pick somebody to donate to. They're not getting it?
They got it here, but they don't have it there.
You're behind the time. It'll come up in a second, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to see it in a second. You'll see it right now. He's going to see it in a second. It'll be live, but a little bit behind. But you click on the donate button. You can pick somebody, to be a team member. So whoever you want to donate it to, all of our monster riders are right here. So pick any one of those if you want to donate to them. Find the rider you think is really impressing the shit out of you, and you're like, I want to cheer them up. Nancy's out in the lead. Somebody who's doing something really cool. You want to hit Wrong Way, who 2 days ago, no, it might be 3 days ago now, stopped when Problem Child had a problem and stayed with him and went above and beyond. That's how you do it. That's how you go about finding it. And that's all you do. That's simple. You raise it. So far, these riders for Mile Monsters Inc. have raised $76,176, and we're trying to raise enough to buy a kid a van. So that's pretty awesome. But I want to share some other links as well, and then I can't really highlight their rider and show that, but I'll put this in the comments. The next rider, I'm going outside the monsters to share this, and this is. Let's see, that is not the one I wanted to share. Bear with me again while I get this squared away. English is the rider, and that is not the right thing for English, because I know that for a fact, so I'll have to get his to pop up. For some reason, that is not accurate, but we're going to figure it out. English has a link, but I'll go to somebody else's right now. One person I want to talk about was Just Matt. He had a lot of love our way, so I wanted to show this to him. So remember Just Matt, this is a link to his Facebook, and it has the links to all of his ways to donate to his cause, put it that way. I'll get that on the screen and it should be good. Why is this not doing what I want? I guess I have to set up another. It just keeps giving the wrong one. I don't know why that is. I don't know. It's not letting me share it. Every time I do it, it goes right to the Mile Monsters. So I don't know. We're going to talk about it and I'll tell it to you what it is. Maybe I'll set a link, but there's some reason these tabs are not sharing properly, and it's really starting to make me a little bit angry. Amazing when you think about these people are doing something so epic, and they're in the middle of their own fight or have conquered their own fight, and that's that. So keep that in mind when you're looking at this screen, that they're riding for a purpose. So many of them. And I'm really mad because I had this all set up and it's not working so well, but here's another one right here that I'm going to put the link in. This is for Twitch. Twitch is another rider that was motivated by some other riders she met. One included myself, so I thought that was kind of cool. And Twitch is riding for some military purposes, where they identify the remains of, lost members of the military. And that was pretty, touching, so to speak. So these are links right in there you can find. These are all people riding for a cause, riding to do really cool things. I would click on that, but man, I don't know if I dare. If I dare click on that, this show might be over. It'd be like, see ya, right? Just went on a cruise and went along. But I do have in the notes how I can get Just Matt's. Just Matt's is a give butter. You remember Big Balls Matt? This is his, so check the comments. And maybe the comment I'll put Big Balls Matt, just so everybody knows. This is his cause right here. Oh, I hit return to do that and it posted it. So we're having a hiccup, but it's all right. You know, that's fine. That's big balls, Matt. But my point is, these guys everybody, guys and girls, are all riding for somebody and really going above and beyond. I could take another stab at trying to find English, because he had another military one I thought was pretty good. So I don't know if I can get to that in a timely fashion, but otherwise I will go back and I will, do this other stuff. But somehow that we lost that. And I did want to share too that, Selena is out there. The ride came right by her house. So she's out there getting great pictures, but she sent them to me in a format you can't share on StreamYard. So I don't have very many of them, but I am trying to get them and trying to figure it out. So we're gonna get that dialed in as well. But she sent some really good ones right before the start of the show. So I was like, well, that's gonna have to wait a hot minute to do that. But all the riders are really killing it, and it's really fun to watch, fun to see, how well some are really doing. So here we got. I can share this. I can probably share this whole page. Donorbox.org. I don't know if I can share the whole page or not, but I'll get this this is English. So another great, I'm going to try to actually share it on the screen and go that route. I don't know if I can or not, but I'm going to try it. And then you'll have a little better idea about it. All right. And no, it doesn't take me right to his, so I'm about done with technology. I'm going to shut it all off, I tell you what. It's so annoying. I'm glad we're testing this out at the 7 o'clock one on this day, because the rally's really dying out. If you watch the pictures we got, you'll be able to see that. So this is like getting the kinks out of the system, and like, I don't care when people laugh at me because I'm a hot mess sometimes, and that's just fine. But the one thing I do like is, the monsters will step up, like myself, and just wing it. We'll wing it. Like, I'm sitting here out at a rally. If anybody knows me, they know this is not my specialty. I'm not very good at setting up a booth, getting things going, doing that kind of thing. We're just winging it. And we're winging it because we want to promote the riders of this great challenge. We want to promote what they're doing out there, what they're doing and how they're doing it. And I just think it's cool. And this is something that, we decided to do because we had 60 riders in it. And then, we all have big hearts and we want to help everybody. So I wanted to showcase riders. So in the comments, if you want to put any rider and what they're riding for, by all means do. If you want to share this show with somebody, share the show and get them, to do it. That's awesome, and that would be great. It's all about, giving it our best to promote these people. They're really out there doing so good. I got some riders here I want to highlight. We can check Taco as one of them, but I'm gonna go hit a couple right here. There's a couple that were gone, so they're not to be seen, but I want to check our rider 1028. This is a monster rider, and some of these I had on here that I wanted to check. All of a sudden tapped out, gone, and I felt bad about that. Didn't really get to highlight them a lot, and they tapped out for whatever reason, bikes, bodies in mind, like we've talked about. And I don't know why my tracker doesn't want to work right now, but we're figuring it out. We'll go with 1273 and see if this finds them. I think it might be because I have 18 million things open and my poor Starlink is working overtime. So I think I'll close down a couple things and see what's up. It's just like searching. So maybe there's not even a show going on. I'm just talking to a microphone and everybody else is laughing. Yeah, so here's a wife watching rider 1263, a little shout out, trying to motivate husband doing so good, for husband that's doing so good. Yeah, here's the link right here to to English. I think I have that donor box. I don't know if I had it right or not, but thank you for putting that up. And please put your riders on. You know, here's that's Robert's here. He'll be on our main one as well. You can go find him, but in the comments, post up. You know, do that. I don't know why this is not finding my people. So I guess I'm just gonna close that, and we're gonna start over sharing a screen after I open a new one. There's something up with that is not jamming. So we're gonna see if we can open up Fleet Tracker again, and then I'll share that. But you can see the place is closing up. See all the booths closing, and I don't know what they close, what time of day. Do you know what time of day they close?
Today at 6, tomorrow at 8.
Oh, okay, we've got one more day at 6, so it is closed right now. That's why it's wrapping up.
Yeah.
That would explain why we're wrapping up so quick. Because we have another day just like yesterday. It's winding down around here. I'm about done using this microphone. This is just testing it out, seeing how it works. And now I'm gonna see if I can share my screen, this new thing I opened up, and see if that works. There we go. So I got that all going, and let's try another rider again. Who was I trying? 1273. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta shut things off. Here's Combs. This is a monster rider, going so fast I can't even get it dialed in time. Working through the countryside, enjoying it. Oh, look at that. Right as we were talking about Siggy, there she is. Combs and Siggy, two monster riders, one who I just shared their thing with. I don't even need this microphone on anymore, do I? There, I can shut that off. It's closing time. We're getting that dialed in for noon time. Now I don't have to worry about that, man. I'm sweating like I got a filter going. I filter as best I can. But there's Combs. Somebody wanted to highlight a little bit. Doing great. You know, traveling in every direction. Heck, you look at this sometimes, you don't know which way anybody's going, but we know they're heading down, heading back up, and then back down, and back up. So that southern group is going in circles. If they have a compass on the front of their bike, it's getting dizzy right about now. So that part is cool to see. Let's see, now somebody asked about somebody. Let's see if we can get that out. Here's a shout out to my guy Rob, 1314. Let's see, Rob, 1314. Oh, that's our Rob. Ah, perfect. I knew that number. That was familiar. I love this because Rob's, I've talked about him before. He's got a great heart, just a good dude. Riding with some monsters. All three of those monsters right there are awesome people. Big hearts. You know, riding this ride, thinking about kids whom, before doing that, they never knew any of them. And I think that is super, super cool. Let's see. There was somebody else. I scrolled through some stuff and missed it, but if I did miss it, post it up. Shout out to my husband, 897. Your husband is sitting here. Wrong hand. Your hand is 897 is safe and sound. My thing is not red. That's all good. Met Rider 1223. Selena did. Rider 1223. 1223. How you guys doing? They are in PA. Rolling along good in town, obeying all the laws, not getting any speeding tickets as they roll along. So that's kind of fun. Look at the countryside different. All that green. North of Philadelphia, working their way down. Somebody stopped here. A couple riders stopped. That's a sign that there's somebody going for that have problems with a bike. Whenever you see riders just off track, not doing their thing right, and it ends up at a Harley dealership, they had problems and they're trying to get their bike fixed. So 1218, good luck with your bike. I wish you the best. Let's see. Iceman is on here. He is still camped out, you know, doing whatever. That's pretty funny. Here's somebody putting something. Rob is 36 years old and he has a bagger. Barely a bagger. That's awesome. And it's so funny because he's 36 and I still think him as a kid. So, god dang, how old am I? So, I refer to people who are kids. If they're anywhere near my kids' age, then they get called the kids. So, this grown-ass man who is much younger than me is doing well, and mom is there cheering them on, and a little nervous. You know, the mama, first time rider, I don't think it ever goes away. My mom was doing it for a long time, and she was sweating bullets about it the whole time. And when I got done, she always called and said how happy she was, and you know, motivated to have me get home. And yes, Dylan, they can ride for any charity they want. There is a few riders that do not ride, you know, for charity, but the vast majority of them do, and it's a great purpose. I mean, look at what this OK Challenge does for communities, what it does. I mean, this is helping these guys riding right here. That's helping get a kid in Kansas a van, and a handicap accessible van that we want to get him because insurance doesn't cover that stuff. And we're trying to step up and fill the voids and help kids live their best life. And everybody has a story like that. So the vast majority of riders, you know, ride for something. You know, there's a lot of military stuff, a lot of things like that. So people are wondering about Iceman. There he is. He's enjoying Michigan still, so just a permanent fixture. His tracker's not broke, but his bike is. And I gave him some parts off my bike. I sure am glad he has that while he sits at the Harley dealership. And I have nothing on my bike. That comes in very handy when we're not late, but motivated to get here in a hurry. And there's Michael up there coming down. Looks like he's taking a break somewhere, enjoying Lake Michigan. All right. Somebody asked about Gopher. Gopher is another monster rider riding somewhere that's hasn't had rain in a hot minute. Where is he at? There he is. Oh, there's some green there. He's doing all right. There's Terry, another great charitable rider. But there's Gopher right there, and he is heading to, it looks like a conservation area of some kind, but it's really fun to see the country they see. You know, like they're heading up and then heading down, and you look at this and you're not sure even which way people are going. It's just, this looks like complete chaos. And right here you see Group 2, first place and nearly last place. I think that's pretty awesome. Like that's controlled chaos and mayhem all dialed in, rolled in to one. So there's a couple way off, and you know, somebody's got some issues down here. If you're down here and your bike is stopped, I would guess they got some bike issues. They now turn trackers off when people tap out, so you don't see them. You know, a long time ago, they used to just leave it on, and you got to, you know, watch people, you know, take the ride of shame home or whatever the case was. And now if you tap out, they turn it off. Technology's gotten a lot better. So I see Rollo's name there. Now it disappeared, but there's Soup and Rollo. A couple of monster riders again. Brad's taking a break, turned red. So this is a fun time, and it's fun to watch the distance they travel. There's our girl Frosty. I can't believe it. I'm sitting here at Sturgis, and I can't believe the number of people that have come out and said, oh man, I know so-and-so. Like Teal Glider. How many times do we look up Teal Glider for his homie today? Your friend is out here, and look at Pop-Off is right with him, so that's pretty cool. They're riding together, and Teal Glider, you got a fan club out here in Sturgis, and they were all about you and how good you were doing. There's our girl Gritty. She's taking a break. Looks like she's getting gas. Gritty Bell and Twang, they are getting gas at the mobile. So that's kind of fun to watch. They're still together. They ride together all the time. You know, you find your homie and you stick together and ride it out. Yeah, when they, let's see, something about it. Yes. Yep. They tap out. They will get removed from the tracker as soon as they let Beth know when it's done and she gets to it, you know, and they shut the tracker off so people don't watch them go across the country. And otherwise it gets really confusing if all of a sudden somebody from California has to go home for whatever reason and they take off. You lose that. All right, you want to see some Smokey and the Bandit? Oh, they made the checkpoint 1. That's awesome. Smokey and the Bandit hit the checkpoint. I'll show you where they're at. I think it's funny when you look at their thing and they have Smokey and the Bandit, you know, Smokey chasing the Bandit. And there they are sitting at the dealership. That dealership is one above and beyond, and every time I look at it, there's always a ton of bikes there. So you know that they got food and comfort, and it's kind of a gathering place for hugs and high fives as people, you know, get set out for the next, you know, 2,500 mile leg, 3,000 miles, whatever this ends up being. But it's over 2,500 miles because east are going harder, and this is you know, a little further. But they're hanging out there and having fun, and you know, people bang on dealerships, bang, you know, cheer for this, bang on this, whatever. But that is the idea of the Hokahay. You get to a dealership and they might be closed, they might have nothing. It is a struggle. It is the suck I talked about. You know, the suck that you just have to embrace. You get to this dealership and they have nobody doing service. Nobody open, they're closed, you're there in the middle of the night, but you're not ready to go to sleep. Some people sleep in the day instead, and you have to leave here. It's been a dilemma at dealerships since this event started, and it is part of the challenge. So I can't even stress that enough. Everybody thinks they're supposed to be catered to, and everybody's gonna do the same job Ocean State does, staying open, having techs there. It's not always like that. And when it's not like that, that doesn't make it wrong or, you know, crazy and why is it like this? This event is not designed to cater to you and have it be, come on in, softy, let's get you taken care of. This is, you know, catered to make you a warrior, and you're gonna be tough when it's done. Tougher than you were when it started, or you didn't do it right. So keep that in mind. You get to a dealership and they don't have anything you need. There's no service available, there's no nothing. You know what you gotta do? You gotta get your ass out there and find a bike shop. You gotta buy oil and figure it out. You might have to change your oil yourself in a parking lot somewhere. You have to figure it out, and that's part of the challenge. There's a lot of suck, and you gotta suck it up and deal with it. Either that or get left behind. So that's how it works. That's what makes it so fun. That's what makes it so crazy. If it was easy and it was Candyland to get from point A to point B, and then you got treated like royalty when you got there, everybody and their brother would do this. Everybody and their brother would be a finisher, and it would really add up to nothing. It would be not the world's toughest motorcycle challenge. It would be, we're in the land of, you know, summer tour. So that's kind of cool. What's the longest amount of time people have to complete the challenge? I think it was 3 weeks. 3 weeks. It used to be even longer. So, but I think somebody said 3 weeks. I think that's people nodding the head here. You know, Hydro, he appears to know more than I do because he's usually nodding his head when I got a question. So, 3 weeks. You know, you're a slow ass finisher after the party. Is that right? No, you're just a finisher after a time, and then you turn into a slow ass finisher. I'll have those answers for you tomorrow. Exactly when you go from finisher to slow ass finisher. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, two groups are, you know, 5,000 miles ridden between two groups, and they are 350 miles apart. And who knows, maybe they're gonna crisscross paths, you know, and see each other. And if you remember back at the beginning, one group was going this way and one group was heading down, and they crossed in a circle. So one of the roundabouts, circle jerks, whatever you see, you know, that's what you get. And look at that. So Big Balls Matt, and I hope I shared his Venmo. I don't know if I did or not, but got a little sidetracked. All right, is Big Balls Matt? Oh, he's right there. Here I'm looking at the screen, but I just have the screen up. I'm not really looking at it. So just think about this for a second, if you will, when you talk about riders and what people are putting into it. Now, I'm not taking away from any other rider at this checkpoint. I'm only bringing up the fact that Big Balls Matt did an extra lap around Lake Michigan. That's the only thing I'm bringing up on this picture, is somebody went around Lake Michigan. So if you think you're in this event and all things are equal and you have the same skills, the same push, the same drive as everybody else, you don't. And that doesn't make your ride any less valuable to you than theirs. It's just different. 100% for Big Balls Matt is much different than 100% for somebody else. So there's no shame in Matt passing you. There's no shame in seeing what he's doing and how he's doing it. Nothing at all. There's no shame in it whatsoever. Giving it 100% is giving it 100%. That's how the challenge is measured, not by miles, not by time, how long it took you to do it. That's a different thing we're measuring. But 100% is 100%. So did you give it 100% or didn't you? That's really the thing that it comes down to. You know what? We're at him here. The bike's got me. And sometimes that happens. That is part of the game. Your bike says, guess what? You know, we had a sucky part, but we've transformed that to the shit. And that's what happens. The bike is done. You know, people can't, just stop and buy a new bike. They have to get it fixed. And that's what happens. So, you know, it's pretty good. You know, looking at the tracker. Yes. The people pick that. We've talked about this before. When you're looking at the tracker and you see their name and it has any colors, they pick that themselves. So that's just personalization. I think if they didn't do anything, they'd be yellow, but you can go in and change that yourself or have them change it when you signed up. So you do that, and that is how it ends up. So that's why those colors mean nothing. That's just a way to personalize it. But the colors around the bikes, that's different. You see Sugar Bear there, hers turning black. That means her tracker needs to be charged. Everybody else is red. That's why they're sleeping and chilling out, taking a nap there. So that part of it is really cool. Got some people coming in or going out, whichever that was. So it's fun to see it, you know, watch them roll around, hitting the countryside. They're going to do, you know, approximately 11,000 miles in 14 days. And Riding for a Purpose is strictly on beast mode. So it's pretty awesome. But Big Balls Matt, I congratulate you on getting to the checkpoint. Good luck on getting to the next checkpoint. Everybody else is well on their way through this part, doing great. You know, now it's really going to get crazy here. You know, I just think it's so fun to see how it's coming together and how they're riding around and so close to each other. And you know, there's Nancy. Looks like she might be heading a little bit the other way, but there's Yos over here. Like, this is the first time we could get, you know, leaders on the same screen, you know, at the same time. So this is the south or the north group, this is the south group, group 1, group 2, and now they're right by each other. So that's kind of fun, and it's really going to be fun at the halfway point, as they all don't have a choice but converge on that halfway point. They're all going to be coming in there, and it's going to be complete mayhem, complete chaos. No way to follow that tracker. You're going to have to tune into our show just so we can go through and give you a little guideline about how they're coming in, how long they stayed, and how they got out of there. So when this goes live on a show, especially when you're out here in Sturgis, just share the show, give it a hit. So if you share it while it's live when we first started, a bunch of other people hit it, and you're good. So yeah, an elite finisher is within 12 days, and then a badass finisher is somebody that comes in by the party. After the party is a finisher, and the finisher goes for another week, I believe, and then it's a slow-ass finisher. So that's what it is. It's 3 weeks to be a finisher, and then you're a slow-ass finisher. And I tell you what, I think this route is going to put a lot of people, you know, struggling to get to the party. They've been fighting high temperatures, tough roads, and a lot of nonsense. So they're going to be struggling to get to the party, and that's how it was years ago. They had a party, they had a 2-week time frame, and a lot of people didn't get there in 2 weeks. Some took 3 weeks, whatever it was. So you are a finisher if you get there. If you ride the route and don't cut the route and do everything, you're going to be a finisher. But you're a slow-ass finisher after the 3 weeks. So that's pretty good. And I don't know, I didn't read this, but check it. So, yeah, clanger. That's pretty funny. So I don't know, I'm really proud to watch this. I'm proud to watch these riders give it their all, and you know, we're going to talk a little bit more about that tomorrow and what they're doing and how they can do this. So tomorrow at noon I was going to talk about really how they do it, what they're doing every day to do what they're doing. Like, people think this is impossible. I'm at Sturgis, we're talking to people, and they're like, that can't be. Like, what do you mean? They're doing, 11,000 miles in 14 days. Like, what? And we have a tracker. We have a live tracker, a 55-inch TV on our table right here, right underneath the camera view you have. So people walking by all day are hitting that up. They're coming over. They're checking out bikes. They're checking out Wild Ass. They're seeing what we got going on. We're telling them about the kids. People are donating money right here on the spot. It's just a lot of fun to use the Hoka to educate the world on mile monsters, and it's fun to use mile monsters and educate the world on the Hoka. So, I feel like we're doing a public service on both ends. So we're trying to get it, and if anybody's super tech savvy and good at the microphone, come on over to Sturgis and you can run this right here, and I'll go back to doing my thing. My motorcycle's sitting right there, right on camera it's sitting, and I'll go scoot through these black hills, so I'm looking forward to it. But anyhow, that's that. We are out of here. As you see, everything's closed up. We're gonna be the last two guys out of here again. Wild Ass is closed up. We got to put a bunch of our shit in there, and we'll be good. So a little ahead of schedule from yesterday, but now we got to go back and we got to cook dinner, shower, get cleaned up, do those things. I got laundry to do. Damn, I got things going on tonight. But anyhow, let me check that one last time. We'll check this. What's the difference in difficulty between the Hoka versus the Iron Butt? That's the Iron Butt Rally you speak of. That's 11,000 miles in 11 days, I think, is their claim. They're just two totally different events, and I'll gladly talk about those. Maybe we'll hit that up tomorrow when we have more time. They're just two really opposite events that both have really cool things about them. So they're just different. So it's too much to get into tonight. So that's awesome. Snapshot did send over some things. We had some trouble with format, and then he's going to get another, he's going to put it together and get that all over, and we'll be all good. So I don't know if we'll go as far to say that it was another great show, but it was a good show. I'm sitting here thinking of all the things I did wrong but I'm really happy that maybe Elaine got on here and only caught the last 7 minutes, and she's like, damn right, killed it. And I'm over here like, damn right, it sucked. It's all good. You know what? I don't get paid for this, so I'm not gonna get fired. So that's the good part about it. So everybody, man, have a great night. This is gonna get booming around here. Starting really tomorrow is when they're going to flood in, but Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it's going to be a zoo, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So cheers, everybody, man. Have a good night. Every day's a Friday night out here, and every night's a Friday night, every day's a Saturday. I don't drink much anymore, so it's not like my old Friday nights in Sturgis that used to be something else, but we are all good, man. Peace, everybody.